performance of our 5th grade students presenting Shake It Up with Shakespeare. There are a few announcements before we begin. First of all, if you have a cell phone, please be sure to silence it now. We don't want to miss out on any of the great numbers that they have. And also, at the end of the program, as we've noted in letters that have been sent home, if you are planning to pick up your child following the program, we will have our teachers out in the commons area. They will have signs with their name in case you don't know who they are. So find your child's teacher. You're just going to sign out on a class list that they have, and you'll be able to take your child directly home from Horace Mann. If you do have other children at Friendship that you are planning to pick up, please just go over to the office there and obviously sign out here first, and then you can go over and pick up your other children as well. If you're leaving them at school, they'll be ready for you at 3:30 at our normal dismissal time. So now please sit back and enjoy this great performance.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears, and you'll learn about a poet who's been known for many years.
His name is William Shakespeare, writer of sonnets and plays. And when he was alive, they say his works will win his praise.
He wrote tragedies, comedies, histories too, and today we'll introduce a few.
Scenes from his greatest works will bring and show you why the place of fame.
It's been over 400 years since Shakespeare appeared on stage, but his plays have lived on and continue to be the rage.
Many Shakespeare's characters have unique and memorable names because his prolific pen all achieved great fame.
Some characters are lofty kings, some serve the lowly station, yet all of them were figments of Shakespeare's imagination.
Some are funny and some are cruel. There are those who played the fool.
But it's important to be said that all of them came from his head.
Hamlet's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are two names you might learn.
But Romeo and Juliet are characters you won't forget.
To quote the words of our great sage, all the world is a stage.
And so, without any further ado, we now present our play to you. The first play we'd like to share is a tragedy beyond compare.
It's Shakespeare's Macbeth, and there's a dreadful note in almost every line he wrote.
Here's a quote from this tragic play with an important message we'd like to convey.
Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more.
There was deceit and deception, and many folks weep when King Duncan was murdered in his sleep.
But who has committed this horrible crime? The audience learns all, but it takes some time. The drama begins when Macbeth is undone by three witches who seem to be just having fun.
Three witches receive a chant as they stir the lethal brew. You may surmise there'll be no surprise at the terrible things they do.
So let's now look in on the witches three, and you may be shocked by what you see.
Our next play is a comedy that's filled with much confusion. Some characters get all mixed up until the very conclusion.
Shakespeare's comedy of errors is one that we'll now do, and we can't wait to have some fun and share this play with you.
This tale of twin boys begins right from the start when a shipwreck at sea tears the brothers apart.
Years would pass by, the boys were to be men, but both of them hoped to find the other again.
From city to city, one brother would go to find his lost twin, searched high and low.
At last, one day, he arrived at a town
Where his long-lost twin brother would finally be found.
He did not know that his brother lived there.
And mistaken identity all soon would declare.
Before long, mass confusion began to take place because two different people had the very same face.
By the way, just to drop the other shoe, each brother had a servant who were twin brothers too.
Are you confused yet, my friend? Well, you be confused to the very end.
They were all in a muddle as to who is really who, and no one could figure out what they should do. After many a twist and many a turn, the twins' true identities were finally learned. We're happy to say all worked out in the end, as two long-lost brothers were together again. Shakespeare's closing line at the end of play is something one brother was heard to say.
We came into the world like brother and brother, and now let's go hand in hand, not one before the other.
Shakespeare's large vocabulary could make his plays difficult to understand. So the scene from Hamlet will give you a hand.
I cannot understand that. They play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I don't really understand what you mean. Will you play this recorder? I can't, my lord. I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
Please? I'm serious, I can't. I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
I'm begging you. I have no idea how. It is as easy as lying. Govern these vintages with your fingers and thumb, give a breath with your mouth, and you will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, these are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any arts of harmony. I have not the skill.
Oh, it is easy as lying. Just put your fingers and thumb over the holes and blow into it. It'll produce the most moving music. Look, here are the holes.
But I can't play melody. I don't know how.
Now that the language has been made clear, let us turn our musical ear. Shakespeare used music and sound effects over 400 years ago, but most of his music has been lost, so we'll play one that we know. In the next tragic play, you will see
The saddest story that could ever be.
For never was story of more woe than that of Juliet and her Romeo.
Romeo and Juliet is Shakespeare's star-crossed pair. Look ahead and a happy tale is filled with great despair.
their feuding parents try to keep them far apart from the Romeo and Juliet was true love from the start.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? What is in a name that the two-color rose by any other name would smell as sweet?
From her balcony, Juliet appeared like a dove when Romeo told her of his unending love.
And when they said goodbye on that fateful night, Juliet bid a fond farewell as she stepped out of sight.
Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till the morrow.
Events would not follow that truly sealed their fate. When precious help did not arrive until it was too late.
The last scene in this story is too sad for a musical play, but we're sure you'll learn about it when you read this play someday.
And now we'd like to leave you with the soulful melody about star-crossed love that was never meant to be.
We've shared two tragedies and a comedy with you. Now the time is right for a history too. Shakespeare's Henry VIII is about an English king who was so very powerful he thought he could do anything.
The king was a boy, and some folks had reason to practice fraudulence and amounted to treason.
Many evil plots are without a doubt what Henry VIII is truly about.
The ambitions of some of the royalty brought about much disloyalty.
The king's confident and trusted friends turned against him in the end.
And on the closing lines of this famous play, let it be true to this very day.
So please bear with us as we quote from the epilogue that Shakespeare wrote.
This lucky talk to God. This line is directed to the audience, so we'll say it to you, but please don't take offense.
Some came to take their ease and sleep an act or two.
Today I must say we truly hope that's not what you came here to do.
Since we worked so hard to prepare this play, please make no mistake. We hope you plan to lend us your ears and be sure to stay awake.
Now there's something that we must bring to your attention. Take heed of advance and flies.
But in his play, only two are mentioned.
The fact that King Henry married 6 wives. But Shakespeare didn't tell about all their lives.
Well, we did this a problem you will fix. So we'll sing you a song about all 6.
My friend, name my
closing performance is a comedy, and it's quite an exciting play, with a zany cast of characters who have a lot to say.
Puck is a servant to King Oberon and has a leading role. It doesn't take long for his playful deeds to get totally out of control.
Puck's magical flower juice causes quite a stir, when strange happenings all around soon begin to occur.
With the light runner using the secret love potion, he creates a scene in a big giant emotion.
Friendships and engagements become a complete mess, and the use of his potion causes much distress.
With Puck's magical powers getting well out of hand, he creates a creature with the head of a donkey and a body of a man.
And pretty soon it's evident that all's gone amok, and our naughty little Puck has run clean out of luck.
But there's no need to worry or to turn to despair, because Puck soon brings an end to this metal fair.
With a great deal of effort, he begins to undo all the naughty things that had gone askew.
With his mischief undone and all put back in its place, Puck turns to the audience and presents his case.
He tells them that they were just having a dream, and everything they saw was not quite as it may seem.
If we shadows have offended, think but this and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream.
well-known Shakespearean play.
Use these words of wisdom in all you say and do.
This is above all